The last thing that I want to say is, as the self-appointed representative of the black community on topics like this, we are not asking for this stuff, okay? I think a lot of people have this mixed up. I don't necessarily know who, like, Hollywood is doing this for, but we as the community, we are not asking for y'all to race swap characters from beloved IPs, okay? What's up, world? Welcome back to Cancelled Thoughts. It's your boy Better Days here. I am one of the biggest Harry Potter fans there is out there, guys. As a kid, I read the first 5 books from Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, which, side note, it's called the Sorcerer's Stone in America, and they changed it for whatever reason. I don't necessarily understand why, because America be doing too much anyway. But I read that book all the way up to the Order of the Phoenix, and I didn't necessarily get into the later books because they got a little bit too big, and my attention span as a child was very, very short, and I couldn't necessarily sit through all those books. But
that being said,
when I heard that they were going to be having a new TV show about Harry Potter, I wasn't necessarily excited about it because, quite frankly, Hollywood has been vandalizing beloved IPs for the last decade to decade and a half now, and they did it with Marvel, they did it with Doctor Who, they did it with The Lord of the Rings, and I just wasn't really excited about this because I didn't want Harry Potter to be tarnished in my mind. I liked the movies despite the fact that a lot of the stuff in the books was cut out of the movies. I still thought the movies were great, but I understand why J.K. Rowling did it. I don't necessarily agree with the fact that she is going through with this, and I don't like the casting, and a lot of people have been really, really upset about the casting of a black actor as Severus Snape, and honestly, I agree with them, but I came across this video from Nerdrotic, which is kind of a parody video of the kind of whole situation, and I want to show you guys really quickly because it's really, really funny, and I'm not able to show you guys like the direct trailer of the Harry Potter series that's coming up or whatever, just for copyright purposes, so I'm just going to do that while showing you guys this parody video from Nerdrotic. Before I get into it though, guys, if I by the end of this video earn you guys a subscription, do me a solid and like the video and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a couple of seconds and it helps out more than you guys realize. That being said, let's get right into it.
I'm Black Snape. Yeah, I'm Black Snape. Black cloak, black skin, walk the hall, they whispering. Cauldron bubble, I'm different. Dark eyes don't flinch, just glimmering. House points, man, miss me. Came from pain, they history. Same blood, they fear, they diss me. But they copy my brew, still sip me. Side eye from the portraits. Cold stone, but my soul scorched. They ain't teach where I'm from, had to learn from the alleys and the torch. Half prince in the world that hate. Half rage in the narrow gate. Half hood in the castle gate. Homie, never run from
Black Snape. Walking through the dark, one day my hand and an X in my heart.
The man has the pistol. Yo, I'm dead. Yo, the creativity on Neurotic is off the charts, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm loving everything I'm seeing right here. But I just wanted to stop it really quick because a lot of people have an issue with depictions like this because they say that because Neurotic is a white guy or whatever, he's a racist for not liking this casting or whatever. And I'm just like, no.
That is false.
You guys created a problem in Hollywood by deciding to race swap a character like Severus Snape, and you opened the door to people ridiculing it in this fashion when you decided to make that decision in the first place. One of the things that a lot of people have said on the internet specifically about this is that Snape being a white dude actually is a part of like the story. If you were to race swap him in the way that they race swapped him here, it fundamentally changes the story and it inserts like undertones or whatever that aren't necessarily necessary for the continuation and just like the thematic experience of the story. So when you guys start trying to have representation or whatever, you got to think about some of the implications of it, okay? You have to think about some of the collateral damage that you can potentially do to the story before you do some of this stuff. And I don't understand how J.K. Rowling, who is the person who actually wrote these stories, is allowing this to go through and just like, listen, the dude who was actually cast for Snape, he's actually a good actor, but when you look at a story like Harry Potter, it's like, bro, we don't need any of this stuff, okay? We don't need you guys to race swap anybody. We don't need you guys to try to change the story. It's a beloved IP for a reason. People liked exactly what we read and what we saw in the original movies. Like, we don't need y'all to start trying to change things up.
Turn that fear to a spell, then I spark. Yeah. I've been
talk war in the streets. I see more than they seats in the tower. Drive by, man, I glide by stealth. Broomstick, bring stone, cold shower. I ain't glorified shots, that's great. That's moms in black, that's waves. Of boys that ain't make old age. So I ain't my rage at the cave.
Walking through the dark, one day my hand in her ex and my heart. Turn that fear to a spell, then I spark. Yeah. I've been cursed from the start. Black Snape.
Yo, AI is crazy, bro. Like, that was actually a good song. Like, that's the craziest part about it. But the last thing that I want to say is, as the self-appointed representative of the black community on topics like this, we are not asking for this stuff, okay? I think a lot of people have this mixed up. I don't necessarily know who, like, Hollywood is doing this for, but we as the community, we are not asking for y'all to race swap characters from beloved IPs, okay? If anything, and I don't even necessarily see people asking for this either, start making original stories, okay? Start making stories like Sinners, which was a very, very good movie. Like, start doing that if you can't really help yourself and you just want to see more black characters and you want to see more diversity or whatever. Start making original stories. We're not asking for you guys to race swap Severus Snape and Harry Potter. We didn't ask for you guys to race swap Doctor Who and turn him into a gay black dude. We didn't ask for y'all to race swap Ariel and the Little Mermaid. We didn't ask for none of this stuff. We don't want it. We don't need it. And for me personally, I think it's just a way for media to stoke division amongst the population, okay? And I don't necessarily want to get political in this video whatsoever. This is about a movie and a franchise that we all kind of love, and it doesn't have to. But one of the main purposes of media is to control the population. And when you see stuff like this, race-swapping characters that nobody even really asked for, you ask yourself, what was the purpose of this? No one is asking for it, and nobody really wants it. It's just like you guys are doing this just to do it, and everybody's just kind of like, yeah, no. And then you start pointing at the people who get mad at the problem that you created and calling them names like racist. And it's just like, no, they're not racist. They just didn't necessarily like the fact that you guys did this whole thing without really consulting anyone, and you guys thought you were giving a voice to the voiceless or whatever. No, this doesn't matter all that much in the grand scheme of things. Like, you're not doing anything by inserting your political agenda into whatever show that people really like. All you're doing really is pissing them off. And if you're somebody who, again, couldn't necessarily help themselves and you had to race swap somebody in this IP or whatever, there were much different characters that you guys could have race swapped, and it would have had less of a deleterious impact on the story. You could have made Sirius Black actually black. That would have been something that would have been much less like problematic, even though I'm not a fan of people race swapping characters in the first place. If you made Sirius Black actually black, you could have made him adopted or something. You could have played on the story of him having a frayed relationship with Bellatrix Lestrange and her not really accepting him because he was adopted or whatever, and that could have been that. And you could have also made some comedic jokes about it just for comic relief, going, oh, he's a black guy and his last name is Black. You could have done some stuff like that without actually race swapping somebody like Severus Snape. It just doesn't necessarily make sense, and it creates a lot more problems than it does with any kind of solutions or any kind of creativity. So me personally, I think everybody in Hollywood at this point needs to be rounded up, from the executives to the people who are running these studios, to the creators. All of them need to be rounded up and fired on the spot, because they keep doing stuff like this, and the population of people who are actually fans of a lot of these IPs, they have told you guys repeatedly that they don't want this nonsense, and you guys are continuing to do it, and you can't really help yourself but put your political ideologies into this stuff. And people are just done with it, okay? People don't want the identity politics anymore. People don't want you guys preaching to them in these stories that they love. They just want to be entertained, okay? And if you guys want to create political stuff, create new IPs. Do not vandalize IPs that people grew up loving by ruining them with your political ideologies. I'm going to leave it there, though, guys. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought about this, and what did you guys think about this video as well, because I thought it was hilarious, but there are other people who are going to try to come out and say it was racist or whatever. It's like, all right, kick rocks. But I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me on this video. You guys could have been anywhere else in the world, but you chose to be here with me, and I really do appreciate you.
If you liked what you heard today, do me a solid and like the video, share the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Those things really do help out the channel a lot, guys. And if you didn't like what you heard, thanks for allowing me to occupy your time. Consider leaving a comment in the comments down below, letting me know exactly what it was that you disagreed with, and maybe we could talk about it. Either way, I appreciate each and every one of you guys for pressing play on this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.